Hello there, what is going on, everyone? We have a really cool and unusual unboxing today. Normally I deal with a lot of Star Wars stuff, as you know, or science fiction stuff. Today it's a different blast from the past. This is one of my favorite toy lines from the 80s, has finally back in production thanks to the loyal subjects that kind of reissued and kind of reimagined M.A.S.K and brought them back. We're going to take a look at the first wave of the new M.A.S.K toy line in its nostalgic setting. If you guys are younger than me, you might not be familiar with M.A.S.K, but this was a really cool toy line meant to sort of compete with Transformers and G.I. Joe a little bit together, that had dudes that had these magical, special, high-tech masks, and then they would also had cars that would transform into other types of vehicles. And some of them were really cool, like this car could turn into, like a jet and fly away with the doors becoming, wings, or Condor with the helicopter becoming a or the motorcycle becoming a helicopter. Then you had the Rhino, which is not called Rhino anymore due to licensing purposes. Same thing with Switchblade, right? But they becomes this whole like little base and has little hidden compartments. But I always thought that this one was really interesting, which is now called high-tech helicopter, because it's a plane that turns into a helicopter. And I'm like, okay, well, you're airborne no matter what. Is that really that big of a deal? Like compared to what the other guys can do? But and the bad guys were from Venom, but they can't use the term Venom anymore. Again, there's a lot of specific names that had to get taken out. But it's okay because we're gonna look at all of this stuff today. Very, very cool. Now, when I was a kid, I did not have a whole lot of money. We were not that fortunate growing up, but I did have this one, and only this one. I only had Condor. So we're gonna look at this one first, and then we're gonna open up the other three. All right, so we're just gonna pop that open, slide this out, and it's so weird to me because these guys were always at a really interesting scale. And it was somewhere in between like G.I. Joe and everything else. And originally they came with the regular masks right here. But then they were reissued with the larger masks like this one. So this was the kind that I had. I remember his arms. Oh yeah, they've upgraded them because the legs only kind of went straight forward. So now the legs come out. So they have more articulation. Look at that. And then the arms. Oh, the arms actually have full articulation too. Look at that. So they used to just kind of go straight forward. Wow, that is really cool. This is Brad Turner, and yeah, this is definitely a redesign. He looks a little bigger than I remember. I expected him to be a little smaller, but no, it looks good. And then this is the actual mask, the original one. Now I never had the original mask, but I guess they were a little too small for some kids, so they started issuing them with these bottom parts to make them a little bit bigger. And I always used to take this and pretend it was a walker, and it could walk around, and these were its legs and stuff like that. I don't know, I did stuff, but it's got the action on here, which looks really cool. We've got his helicopter slash motorcycle here, and this one, it goes up just like that. The wings, the rotors rather pop out. Oh, that's in there real tight. Remember, they used to pop out real easy. Boom, there it is. And boom, there's that. And then this one would go back and lock in place. These don't really stay super straight. There we go. But yeah, and on mine, this part was always broken off. And then this part comes out also. And I can help it stand, right? Which is cool. All right, let's get him in there and put that part back. Let's put him in there. All right. I feel like I'm back to being a kid again. It's actually pretty cool. There we go. So there he is flying around with that thing. And they also give some extra effects too. So I guess they have this, which, how is that supposed to go on there? Firing and smoke effects attachments. So this is another extra little cool thing that they gave. So you can put this sort of on that right there. And I guess that this one kind of goes underneath. I bet you know what? There is an instruction manual I will probably look at. Oh, this is probably for when he's in motorcycle form. And we put these back in. And then you can kind of put that on there to keep the motorcycle up like he's spinning out. That is a cool way to do it. I'll say this, with the redesigned figures, I don't feel like the legs get all the way in there as well as they used to. It's close, though. It's close. But then when you lock this down, that seat kind of doesn't want to let the feet in there, you know? So... no, but that's cool. That's cool. All right. It's hitting me in the feels. It's definitely hitting me in the feels. Let's take a look at some of the other ones. Before I pull the rest of this stuff out, there is also like a retro style kind of instruction book, and I didn't realize this was in here but we have stickers also. If you remember toys in the 80s, everything had to have stickers on it. So we have our own sticker book, so we can put the M.A.S.K logo on the side. And then we can put this little control panel up there on the dash, which I will probably do that much later because I'm going to want to be super, super careful. And I won't want the pressure of being on screen for that. I'm not looking forward to having to put stickers on these things, but all right. All right, next up we're going to take a look at Thunderhawk here. This one is cool. This one has Matt Tracker with the Spectrum mask. If you guys remember, how many of you guys remember the awesome theme song from M.A.S.K? It was one of the best theme songs out of all cartoons in the 80s. Second, maybe only to Thundercats, you know, and that is even probably debatable by some folks. I'm sure there's people who are willing to argue for or against, but yeah, really good. I remember I used to have a little cassette recorder, and I would record it so I could like listen to it on demand. So this is the containers they've gone. I imagine there is a lot of people that are keeping these in the box that will not take them out and will not play with them. I am not one of those people. I want toys to be played with, because what's the point of keeping it in a box my whole life and then I die and then my kids are like, what do we do with all this crap? You know, I'd rather enjoy it. So we've got our sticker sheet here. We've got our Thunderhawk. I've never had this one. My friends had this one. So this is the car. We've got some attachments underneath for it to shoot things out. And it's a cool car, right? Thunderbird, right? And then when you push the button on top, boom! The doors open up, and then he's ready to shoot, which is very cool. And we've got this underneath. And we've got, oh my goodness, pieces are falling out. Pieces are falling out. We've got Matt Tracker here with the Spectrum mask. And then we have the extra big version with the shooting effect. Oh yeah, way more articulation on these guys this time, which is very cool. And he can go in there. They gave seatbelts to this one, which is cool, but makes it a lot harder to get him actually in there. Wow. How in the hell am I going to do that? All right. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, is this broken already? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's try it now. Yeah, is it broken already? First time. Let me just double check the instruction manual. Yeah, so it looks like this spring can kind of come out past the door there, and if you kind of push it back in and push the door on top of that, you can kind of force it back down, so this way it'll open up again. But it's very easy for that spring to come popping out of there. So if you have one of these, that's going to be the fix for that. Wasn't too hard to figure out. I just had to look at it a little bit. But yeah, be careful with that. Wow. Oh, all right. So underneath we've got this guy right here, and we've got these little discs that are going to go in here, and you can launch those out. Oh my goodness. I'm afraid to do it because I'm afraid they're going to go firing. They're going to go. Oh, there we go. All right, so I've got this figured out now. You have to slide these back. You drop this pellet in, you slide these back and lock them down, and then you push this button on the bottom, and it's going to shoot this out. There it goes. So there it is. All right. Sometimes it comes out good. Sometimes it comes out a little bit less good. And then you've got your spot for your bombs under here. And I don't know how those go in, but yeah. This is a little bit of a pain in the butt to get these things to shoot. But we got stickers to put on there. We've got to get the seatbelt out. Slides out like that, and we'll try and get him in there. Let's see. Let's try one more time. I think I can do it. And did we get it? Can we buckle the seatbelt properly? We can do it. We got it. We got him in there. I don't know if I could get him in there with the mask on, but that's okay. We did it. The other thing that you can only do when this is really open is they add this flame effects. So you can drop these in here kind of like so. And there's two of these. And this is something kind of new that the originals didn't really have. So you can kind of have that in there, which is fun. Which is funny. He's flying around. If only that were aerodynamic, right? Oh yeah, and then those can come out a little bit more too. Yeah. There we go. All right, up next we are looking at Rhino, otherwise known as the Mobile Defense Unit. Again, a lot of trademarks and names that they couldn't use anymore. This one was a very, very cool one. I never had this one. I had one friend that had this, and I only got to play with it like once. But it was magical. And so this is... And I didn't remember ordering the kind that had the bonus T-Bob and Scott tracker. I didn't think I ordered that. I don't know if they accidentally gave me the deluxe one or if they included that with all of them. I don't know what's going on, but I just ordered the basic one. Because I think it was like an extra 30 or 40 bucks for them. So this is pretty cool. We have the whole setup here. Let's take this off. There's a lot of pieces to this one. To me, this one is kind of like the centerpiece. The centerpiece to the collection, at least out of what's available right now. Here we go. I'm gonna cut some of this off with the tape that's on there on the side, and boom. Oh, it's beautiful. I love the chrome on there. It really makes it shine, which is really fun. Let's get this thing out. All right, so this is the big rig. Now this part does come off. It's again, this is a little ATV that comes off the back. You can do that, and you've got Bruce Sato or Matt Tracker with them. They both look pretty good. And again, they can go in here and drive this thing around, right? It's not really a chair that's built into that, so they kind of just have to stand up. Or you can sit them down, and they can kind of sink all the way in it. But again, the legs don't go all that far. I feel like, I don't know, I don't have my original M.A.S.K stuff, but I feel like these are bigger than the original M.A.S.K toys. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Maybe they're the exact same size. I don't know. I think they're the same as I remember, but I had smaller hands when I played with them before, and I don't feel like they've scaled down. So yeah, so you can drive that around. There's a winch accessory that goes on the back here. You're supposed to be able to turn this little thing and it'll extend and, you know, wind up the winch, but that doesn't seem to work for me at all. I don't remember if it was that hard to get this thing to turn, but I'm afraid to break it, so I'm just going to leave it like it is right there. I'm not really super thrilled with that. Overall, though, it's nice. The chrome is nice, though. The wheels have a good rubbery feel to them, and then I can go back in if we want, and he can pop out and then assist. All right, he's got his mask here, boom, and then he's got an alternate version. Matt Tracker's got Spectrum, and he's got his there, and this is his alternate version. And where's Sato's alternate version? There it is, where he's shooting the plunger effect out of there. So we can have them with those. But the cool, and then we've got little Scott and T-Bob here. T-Bob also transforms a little bit from being a kind of guy who's up like this to then going down. He's got little pegs for the feet, and you can put this guy in here and you can ride around. Yippee! Let's go get in trouble. My dad will save us. You know, kind of like that. You know, they can ride around. So that was a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting to get that. We do have some other effects too. We've got a blasty blast effects, and we've got smoke effects. I think these are the smoke effects are meant to come out of like the steam vents here. We have 2 of those. There's another one right here, which is very cool. And I believe the shooting effect comes out of these when they're shooting. If you wanted to. Now these will come down. It's always tough to get them to come down past this thing because they don't want to come past that very easily. But we can do it. All right. We can do it. There's the other one. Now this one bent a little bit, but we can get it in there and have our shooting effects. But this transforms a lot more than that. So we have 2 buttons here on the back. We have this one right here, which makes this battering ram come out, so you can be like, boom, knock some guys down. And then we have this one, which is the ejector seat for the passenger. In case you have an unwanted passenger, we push this button and boom, it just gets like, get out of here. You didn't pay for gas. There's unwritten rules of the road. If you know, you know. So get out. All right. And then there's this back part here, which will slide this back, and then we can flip this part open and put this part down. Now, what's strange to me is they did put stickers on the inside and on the inside there. So they put stickers on some parts, but didn't put it on others. So we have our sticker sheet here. So I'm a little surprised about that, but I don't necessarily mind, except they're not straight. I don't know if you guys can see in there. Let's zoom in a little bit, right? They were a little crooked. So if you were a stickler for stickers, pun intended, right? I could maybe be a little dissatisfied with that, but I am happy that they did it because I don't want to have to reach in there and try and put that on because I might have done worse. Who knows? Interesting thing. Inside here, we can have our guys go in here and be like, oh, we've got to use the computers. We could have used the computers at home, but let's drive out in the middle of nowhere in the desert and then use the computers. And then you can launch the giant rocket right here, and this is going to go in. And you lock that down. Then you push this button here, and boom! Yeah, and it launches out. And then we blow up the bad guys. And the biggest box out of all of them, the high-tech helicopter. They can't call it Switchblade anymore. They can't call it Venom. So, yes. It used to be a logo, the same font as M.A.S.K, which just say Venom, and would have been on there. Kind of very similar to that. We've got Miles Mayhem in there. He's the leader of the bad guys. We got some special effects on this one, too. Yes, it's a plane that turns into a helicopter, or is it a helicopter that turns into a plane? Either way, if he wants to be on the ground, he's going to have to walk. But it's okay, he's got... Oh, and this one is cool. Oh, wow, that is a beautiful look. I love the pink to dark blue contrast on this. It's so iconic. It screams my childhood to me. That is so groovy. That is so groovy. There's so much we're going to do with this guy. Let's see what other pieces we get with this. We've got Miles Mayhem here. Hi there. He doesn't look so bad, without the mask on. He doesn't look that scary until, oh no, he's doing his thing. I will poison you. I don't remember what he did. I don't remember what his mask's special power was. I surprisingly didn't watch very many episodes of the cartoon. I just loved the theme song. I had recorded it and I listened to it like on repeat every day. I loved the theme song, but I did not catch many episodes of the show. It was on like at a weird time slot that I didn't usually catch it because I think it was on when I was at school or something like that. So we got all these effects as well. All right, get a closer look. All right, here is our high-tech helicopter, and we can open up the cockpit, and we can close the cockpit up. We've got some guns here that can go in and out, although this one doesn't lock in. We've got the other guns on here that can go in and out. We can take this part out, and you can pop that to get this to pop up. That kind of pops up automatically. It's supposed to wait for you to push this button. We can take the wings, fold them underneath, like so. And then take the feet down like that. And then all of a sudden we've got our helicopter. And the cool thing is, if we want to be all kind of nostalgic, we can spin it right here. Like this one, which is fun. That works fairly well, too. So that is cool. We also have a spot for our bomb underneath, which can go in right here. And we can put that in. Although I'm supposed to actually put the back part in first. Hold on. Yeah, like that. Come on, get in there. There we go. Like so, I believe. No, did I not get it in there right? Yeah, there it goes. All right. And then when you push this button, boom. Look. No, well, it did it before. It did it when I was prepping it, right before I started filming. It dropped no problem. So, but we can drop the bomb there. We've got our special effects here. We've got these that can attach to here. And then we've got like this effect here, which I think goes, I don't know if it goes in there or if it goes back here. Doesn't look like it fits back there. Let's see what the rule book, what the instructions say that it goes on to. There we go. If we pull out that missile, we can put this in right here. And that actually looks really cool. That's probably the best effect out of everything that's here. You've got that gradual sort of fade, and then the missile coming out there, which is a very cool effect. And then we can transform it back. And although you'd probably get in trouble if you called it transforming it back, wouldn't you? And boop, and boop, and that, and there we go. We're back into jet mode. This one will not go in though, so this one isn't, it's not the greatest quality in the world, but then again, the toys in the 80s weren't always the greatest quality in the world either, so I can kind of let that slide just a little bit. But yeah, so there's that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest. We've got Miles Mayhem here with his, yeah, I think we already looked at the masks for him. And then he can go inside this thing just like so. This one is a little tricky. You got to squeeze it and pop it out. And then, what does he even, come on, get in there, buddy. Get in there. There we go. He is ready. He is ready to fly. All right, let's put the stickers on these things. All right, so we've got the stickers on everybody now. We got our little M.A.S.K logos on there. We've got our dash kit panel. We've got all of our awesome, fabulously 1980s stickers on this guy. We've got all of our stickers on here, including the Venom one without the words. And the only one that gave me any problems at all was the one on Rhino here. Very, very minor problem, but as you can see, the stickers was just a little bit too long. It's barely even noticeable. I wouldn't have really even mentioned it, except I had heard people complaining about it a little bit before. Not really a big deal. I screwed up on this part a little bit, but yeah, not a huge deal. Still, you know, easy sticker instructions. It being partially off. I guess you can kind of notice it on the front here, where they were down as low as they could go right there, but it had to kind of come up onto this middle part. So like maybe 1 or 2 millimeters too long on some of the stickers. Not a huge deal. I'm not seeking perfection here. I don't think we had perfection in the 80s either. So it's okay. But you know, that's definitely room for improvement. Let me know some of your thoughts. Super excited about these guys, and yes, I'm going to play with them, and then they're probably going to go on my desk or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of them. Oh yeah, and don't forget about Scott and T-Bob, and we got them there too. No stickers for those guys, but very cool stuff. I'm excited, and I wanted to share this with you. Let me know your thoughts. Also, we are still doing 12 days of Life Day giveaways. There's still some giveaways left this month. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos, letting me know what are your favorite 80s cartoons and what are some toy lines that you would love to see brought back. Or even better, if you're into gaming like I usually cover, let me know some 80s toy lines that you would love to see get adopted into some tabletop games. Let me know that in the comments section below. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. And always wash your socks.